everyone. A very auspicious day for us. In fact, doubly auspicious, or I would say triply auspicious. One, because it is our Independence Day of our nation. It's also a day we have always celebrated our Guru's Janmadinam, even though it's not the Panchangam date, but still it has been worldwide devotees and disciples of Pujya Swamiji. This day has been really very precious for all of us. And thirdly, because we have a wonderful large family with us on this day, studying the Upanishads with a very special teacher, your Acharya, and we are here to enjoy these precious moments together. And I feel for all of us here in Purna Vidya Ashram, we could not have asked for a better August 15th. And so let us join hands, let us come here, hoist this wonderful flag. We'll begin with that. We will recite the national anthem, following which I would like to just share a few words honoring this day, after which we will distribute. There will be a book launch in honor of Pujya Swamiji, and some Guru Prasadam will be given out to one and all. So this is a short program planned for this morning. So let us begin with the flag hoisting.
Bharat Mata ki
Jai! Jana Gana Mana Adhinayak Jaya He Bharata Bhagya Vidhata Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha Dravida Uttala Banga Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga Uchchala Jaladi Taranga Tava Shubha Name Jage Tava Shubha Ashisha Mage Gahe Tava Jaya Gatha Janagana Mangaladayak Jaya He Bharat Bhagya Vidhata Jaya He Jaya He Jaya He Jaya 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 He Bole Bharat Mata ki Jai! Bharat Mata ki Jai! Bharat Mata ki Jai! Vande Mataram!
Can they sing a song later?
Which one?
Can they sing a song?
They want to
Later.
Later.
After the message, yeah.
After பேசினதுக்கு அப்புறம்.
So we are here celebrating the 77th year of India's independence. When we say India's Independence Day, we celebrate, it's not a ritual. It is truly a celebration of the greatest gift we have been given in our lives by our Purvajas, by our ancestors, by the patriots of this great land, of this great civilization. It is the greatest gift of our lives because we brought up in free India post 1947. We cannot even fathom what it would have been like to grow up in a society where your culture is oppressed, where you are a nothing, where you have some invaders ruling you, where you cannot speak with pride your nation, your knowledge, your culture, your traditions, where your practices are shunned, insulted, and not only it's mere verbal insults, unbelievable abuse we know of for the patriots that they went through. Great souls like Savarkar, like Bhagat Singh, like Subhash Chandra Bose, like Veera Pandian Kattabomman, all these people, Bharatiya, so many of them, Tirupur Kannan, every state there were patriots. And these are people who lived the pain. They lived a whole life in pain, please understand. A pain of not being able to declare their dharma, not being able to live their dharma, their value systems, their truth, their practices, their religious practices. Because they were oppressed, because they were suppressed, because they were shunned, because they were beaten up, because they were imprisoned, because they were abused. Growing up in childhood, I remember in school we were always told the Andamans, Kala Pani, is a place where the worst criminals are put there. I don't know if you have grown up with that idea, but I sure did. The worst criminals of India are put there so that they can never escape, and if they escape, the crocodiles are there to finish them. And we used to think, yes, they deserve that end. It was later in life when I went to Andamans, a wonderful institution called Vivekananda Kendra that does beautiful work in Andamans. All over Far East and other places, Purna Vidya has been working with them for the past 25 years. I went to Andamans to train their teachers and stayed there. And that's when I thought I'll finally see this Kalapani. When I went and saw Kalapani, I could not stop but weep. I could not but weep when I saw the light and sound show where they really describe what Kalapani was. And it was nothing but a place where our patriots were imprisoned. It was a place where, as long as they said Vande Mataram, as long as they refused to eat the meat and the eggs that were presented to them for meals, with every Vande Mataram, they were beaten, they were starved, they were made to do that chakki, like bulls. They were whipped and made to go round and round until for a week, minimum 1 week, for not giving up this ideology of free India. These were the souls who were the criminals of Bharat. I couldn't believe, I couldn't sleep. It was obnoxious to see this. This is how the patriots, our own Purvajas, our ancestors, gave up their lives to make Bharat free. Why? So that you and me can grow up with the freedom to revive, to own up, to understand who we really are. There is no civilization in the world. You please look around very objectively, scientifically. Doing all your historical researches, look around and see if there is any civilization that comes anywhere near the kind of absolutely outstanding knowledge traditions we have held for thousands of years. Not only in one field, in so many fields, whether it is math, whether it is science, whether it is chemistry, whether it is alloys, whether it is making the ships, whether it is textile industry, whether it is Ayurveda, whether it is Chikitsa, medicines, all of them, Bharat has been outstanding. For no other reason other than knowing that this is a land of the gods. It's the land of the sacred. It is a land which has owned up the sacred. To be born and brought up in Bharat, to be a child of this soil, it has taken ettane janma, avlo punyam, to be born in this bhumi as a child of this soil. And that too, after 1,000 years of invasions, after generations and generations of oppressions, we were born in this land as one of the first generations in free India. What a blessing! What a blessing, and this blessing comes, nothing comes free, we all need to understand. It comes with an onerous responsibility of ownership, of making sure that our children don't suffer that our elders suffered. There was an invasion, physical invasion those days. Today our homes are being invaded. Our palms are being invaded with the communication systems. The influences all over India is not influences of our cultural traditions, knowledge traditions. India today needs a revival. It needs a cultural awakening. It needs for us to own up. We shouldn't just follow like sheep mentality, some kind of a white-skinned superiority that they thrust on us, and so we automatically became inferior. Education in regional languages became inferior. Anything Hindu became inferior. A trend where you feel apologetic to call yourself a Hindu can only happen in India, can only happen in Bharat. The same Hindu, when he leaves Bharat, he becomes a lion out there. Please understand, when he comes to India, he becomes a politician, he becomes a diplomat, and he wants to flow with the sheep mentality. It takes great courage to stop living a false life. It takes great courage, and we have it with all our spiritual teachings, to own up our truth. You are owning up your truth as divinity, as Bhagavan. And therefore, what is it in this country which is secular? What is it? Name one thing that you can call secular. Veda says all that is here, Ishavasyam idam sarvam. Om ityetat sarvam, yad bhutam bhavad bhavishyancha. And therefore, when all that is here is sacred, you are sacred, I am sacred, life is sacred. This knowledge, this sacred, the sanctity that is so precious, given to us in our knowledge traditions by our Rishi Parampara, who lived through this 1,000 years, understand, they all lived through the abuses and aggressions and the dark ages of India. They lived through, but protected the knowledge tradition. That's why we are standing here today on this special little corner, forest corner, studying the Veda. And therefore, what is our responsibility? What is it I can do as somebody born and brought up in this tradition? I can do many things. Pujya Swamiji used to say, stop being a consumer. Learn to spend prominent part of your day in being a contributor and being a giver. We have a young generation today that is lost. They have no reason to be lost. All wealth is in our land. Every knowledge tradition is here. All capacities are here. All intelligence is here. Why is it that our intelligent people show their intelligence only when they leave India? Where does that intelligence go when they are in India? Why does it not radiate, express itself and create new avenues? You know why? Because we are afraid to fight our own dark edges. We are afraid to face the corrupt, dirty governance that has been the legacy of an invader. They left a lot of falsehood behind. They did leave a lot of falsehood. They created, no oppressor can praise the indigenous culture in which they have landed and they have occupied. They are going to oppress. They are going to suppress. They are going to kill and destroy and create a new narrative of a history that suits them, not that suits the indigenous land. And it never did. Last 77 years we have been stuck with falsehood, untruth, whether it is history, whether it is so many things. You are very well aware because you have also felt the pinch and the pain of falsehood, of corruption and whatnot. Hiding payments of taxes was a necessity when British India were here because we had abusers up there. But today, it's not a necessity. It is our country. We have no reason to even think why we will not pay taxes. We have to pay taxes. You see the tax money in foreign countries, what wonders they do in creating public places and gardens and so many amenities for society. It's all tax money. If we don't pay taxes, then what will government do to beautify and improve our living conditions? India was known for its honesty. In the 17th century, when Voltaire and other French philosophers all came, it was unbelievable for them to see such honesty in the people. They couldn't believe that every village there was education, under the trees there was education. Very, very cleverly they destroyed every one of that. The great weavers of India excelled in the planet. Their thumbs were cut, hundreds of thousands of them, so that India would import. You know the stories very well. No point in doing post-mortem. Every year we do post-mortem. We were like this, we were like that. Big deal. Now what are we? We are standing on free India. 77 years have gone. Every one of us has to become a Modi. Every one of us has to become a person who feels the pain. Think of it, when you find out from your family, your great-grandparent died in a lot of pain and suffering, how you feel? You feel the pain, don't you? Because it's your family, you feel the pain. Bharat is a living being. Bharat's soul is you and me. If Bharat's knowledge tradition, which is Bhagwan's tradition, Veda tradition, hasn't found its heart to live in, it's pain, understand? If our people have been destroyed for praising Bharat and for living a vegetarian life and doing our practices, it is pain of our ancestors. Whether they were your blood ancestors or not, they were people born and brought up in this soil, in the Vedic parampara. And if they went through painful life and died without giving up, how cutter they were, how strict they were, how much tyaga it was in them, then yes, feel the pain. Today is the day to feel the pain of the patriots and how they cried and they died for Vande Mataram, for their motherland. How they spoke their last words as they gave up their life for their mother India. Feel their pain. Only when we feel the pain of our people will our hearts come out in compassion. When you feel compassion in your heart, you will want to do something. To really heal the pain that you feel. It will make you a contributor. Maybe we need to feel the pain. We need to grieve the pain of our own parents and grandparents and great-grandparents who suffered in the bondage of the British and the Mughal times. Nothing wrong. You shed 2 tears, nothing wrong. They shed their lives for us. Feel the pain and respond. Respond in karuna. Respond in compassion. Today is a day to make a decision for my Bharat Mata, for my country, for my land. Let me stop looking at only me, me, myself. No. For my community, for everyone around me, what is it I can do? Maybe in the teaching tradition you can do something. Maybe you can support an ashram. Maybe you can support a temple. Maybe you can support so many things. The elderly, the people who are needing. We have enough and more people who are in need of basics. And make sure that every Hindu child is proud of their religion. Conversions are happening because we parents have not taken the responsibility to teach them. And they go out there in the society unprepared. They say, you never taught us anything, we didn't know anything about our religion. Think of it if every one of you took up the responsibility, all the beautiful teachings you have, if you can share in schools with young generation, create avenues, spread the message. Enough resources are available. Purna Vidya is available. This was your Pujya Swamiji's vision. Purna Vidya's vision of Pujya Swamiji was in every Hindu home around the planet, this set of books should be there. To guide, to provide all answers to parents and children. In that vision, these books have been made. May my Guru's vision come true through all his dedicated disciples. May we all work together hand in hand and feel for our culture. Philosophy is incomplete unless it is manifested and experienced in our culture, in our daily life. Purna Vidya will show avenues to understand culture with its philosophy. And so my appeal to all of you is to take up such, once your course of learning is complete, make sure you commit to some way of cultural revival. And I'm sure your acharyas can train you. We are all also here to train how we go about doing, but it is very important. India today needs a cultural awakening, and no better informed people than the Tamil land of Tamil Nadu. At least our temples are still protected. India has lost its ancient temples all over. Thousands of years old temples have been gone. Today we at least have that. This is a land, whole of North comes to see traditions. Why don't we take on ourselves this role of being torch bearers, of bringing a cultural awakening, of a sacred culture of Bharat, sacred India, not secular India. This is Pujya Swamiji's vision, and remember, he is also a product of pre-independence India. Swami Chinmayanand, Swami Dayananda, Tapovan Maharaj, and so many great Mahatmas, Ramana Maharshi, Paramahamsa Yogananda, and where this Mahesh Yogi and all of them, they were all pre-India people, you know. They were able to still inspire people. They kept working away for the tradition, knowledge tradition. How fortunate we are. For us it's so easy today. When they taught, there was so much opposition in public. And teaching women the Veda was unheard of. Why there, even when I tried to study from a Shastri, the whole group came and stopped him. And he said, no, you prove to me why she is not an Adhikari, only then I will listen to you. He continued. This was in Mylapore, in Chennai, Adyar it happened. So, we'll deal with problems and challenges when they arise, if they arise. But we commit ourselves to being a contributors of the cultural tradition, and this is in honor of a great Mahatma, our own Guru, our own Guru. Many Mahatmas are there, but he is our own Mahatma. Our Pujya Shri Swami Dayananda Saraswati, one who has inspired us, really transformed our lives. All teachings are not for academics, it's for life transformation and growth, blossoming, fullness. And he taught how to teach Vedanta also, he taught. That was his greatness. Master teacher he was. No one could parallel. He was a lion among all the men where it came to Vedanta. He was the last word. He would just get transformed once he sat on the Vyasapeetham. The transformation in Pujya Swamiji, we would think, this is not the person I am so friendly with, he is somebody else talking. This is how people experienced him, and he really was somebody else. You can see that in the manifestation itself. And therefore, it's only right that on this day, honoring his Janmadinam, we have a book release, and I request Acharya to tell a few words about this book, and we will be so happy to release this book today.
ஓம் ஸ்ரீ குருப்பியோ நமஹ. எடுத்துக்க மாட்டேன். அம்மாஜி சொன்ன மாதிரி இன்னைக்கு ரொம்ப ரொம்ப பவித்திரமான நாள். நிறைய காரணங்கள் இருக்கு. முதல்ல நம்மளுடைய தேசம், நமக்கு எப்படி பெத்த தாய் இருக்காளோ நமக்கு தேச மாதா இருக்கா. தெய்வமா நம்ம வழிபடுறோம் பாரத மாதா. அவளை பல போராட்டங்கள்ல நம்ம திரும்பி பண்ணியிருக்கோம். ஃபிசிக்கலாக நம்ம பவுண்டரி லெவலில் ஃப்ரீடம் கிடைச்சாலும், இப்போ அம்மாஜி சொன்ன மாதிரி தப்போவன் மகாராஜிலேருந்து ஆரம்பித்து நம்மளுடைய குருநாதர் மட்டும் எல்லாரும் அந்த கலாச்சார சுதந்திரம் இன்னும் ஏற்படலை. ஏன்னா அந்த கலாச்சார சுதந்திரம் சொன்ன மாதிரி ஒரு பர்சனும் அந்த கல்ச்சரை ஓன் பண்ணணும், ஒரு பர்சனும் தன்னுடைய தாய்நாட்டை ஓன் பண்ணணும், ஒரு பர்சனும் இந்த சனாதன தர்மத்தை கூட முழுமையாக வாழறதுக்கான விஷயம்தான் கலாச்சார சுதந்திரம். அதுதான் என்னுடைய குருநாதர் ஸ்ரீ சுவாமி பிரம்மயோகானந்தா 12 கும்பமேளாவுடைய விஷயமா வச்சுண்டு பாரதம் எப்போ விஸ்வகுரு பாரதம் ஆகுங்கிற அந்த சங்கல்பத்தை அமர்கண்டக்ல வெளிப்படுத்தி அது டாக்குமெண்ட் பண்ணி அதுபடி ஒன்னொன்னா மாறின்னு இருக்கு. அதுல முதல்ல 2025ன்னு சொல்லி 2024லேயே அயோத்தியா ஸ்ரீ ராமச்சந்திர ஜென்மபூமியோடைய மகா கும்பாபிஷேகம் நடக்க போறது. இது ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இண்டிகேஷன் ஆஃப் தட் கல்ச்சுரல் ரிவைவல், கல்ச்சுரல் திங் அம்மாஜி சொல்றது. ஸோ நீங்க பார்த்தீங்கன்னா எல்லா மகானுடைய ஒரே சிந்தனா இந்த விஷயத்துல தான் அலைண்டா இருக்கிறது. அப்படி நம்ம இங்க பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம். அதுக்காக நம்ம நம்ம சைட்ல அம்மாஜி சொன்ன மாதிரி எப்படிலாம் நம்ம கான்ட்ரிபியூட் பண்ண முடியுமோ பண்ணணும். முக்கியமா நம்ம பாரதத்துடைய பேக் போன் ஏன் விஸ்வகுரு அப்படின்னா இந்த வேதம், அதுல இருக்கக்கூடிய நாலேஜ். நாம ஒவ்வொருத்தரும் நான் பூர்ணன்னு சொல்லிட்டோம்னா, புரிஞ்சுட்டோம் அப்படின்னா நம்ம செய்யக்கூடியது எல்லாமே கம்பேஷன்ல விளவும். இதுதான் பூஜ்ய சுவாமிஜி சொல்றது. கம்பேஷன் இஸ் மை வெரி நேச்சர், இட் இஸ் மை ஸ்வரூபா. அப்போ இந்த ஞானம் அந்த கம்பேஷனை நேச்சுரலி இன்ஃபைனைட்டா அது வெளியில கொண்டு வரும். அப்படி நம்மளோட ஃபோக்கஸ் டோட்டலா இந்த கமிட்டட் லைஃப்ல இருக்கணும். அதுல நம்ம பூஜ்ய சுவாமிஜி தயானந்த சரஸ்வதியோடைய பொன்னான ஜென்ம ஜெயந்தி, அதுல வந்து அவர் சுவாமிஜி என்ன பண்ணியிருக்காரு அப்படின்னா நிறைய கிளாஸஸ் எடுத்ததோட சேர்ந்து ஆல் ஓவர் த வேர்ல்டு போய் நிறைய லெக்சர்ஸ் கொடுத்திருக்காரு. அண்ட் எல்லாமே ஒரே சமன்வயம்னு சொல்றது பிரம்மசூத்திரத்துல. இட் இஸ் கன்சிஸ்டன்ட் வித் த தாத்பரியம் ஆஃப் தி சாஸ்திரா. அப்போ அதுல வந்து ஒரு சீரீஸ் வந்து மொமெண்ட்ஸ் வித் மை செல்ஃப் அப்படின்னு, அதுல வந்து இந்த சாஸ்திர விஷயத்தை எப்படி அழகா சின்ன சின்ன லெக்சர்ஸா வந்து எப்படி அதே விஷயத்த காம்ப்ரிஹென்சிவா கொடுக்க முடியும் அப்படின்னு நிறைய புக்ஸ் வந்து பண்ணியிருக்கா. அதுல வந்து ஃபண்டமெண்டல் ப்ராப்ளம், அது வந்து நம்ம வந்து அடிப்படை பிரச்சனை அப்படின்னு அதை தமிழ்ல வந்து எல்லாருக்கும் அது போய் சேர்ந்தா நன்னா இருக்கும்னு ஒரு பெரிய சங்கல்பம் எடுத்துண்டு ஆச்சாரியா ஸ்ரீ சூரியப்பிரியா ரங்கராஜன்ஜி என்னுடைய குருபாய் அவளுடைய அந்த விஷயத்தை எடுத்துண்டு இங்க ஆர்ஷ வித்யால பர்மிஷன் வாங்கிட்டு எல்லா குருமார்களுடைய பர்மிஷன் வாங்கிட்டு அந்த புஸ்தகத்தை வந்து ரெகுலரா வந்து டிரான்ஸ்லேஷன் பண்ணி தமிழ்ல வந்து நமக்கு பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கிறது. ஸோ அதுல வந்து ஒரு புக் சீரீஸ் வந்து ஆக்ஷன்ஸ் அண்ட் ரியாக்ஷன்ஸ், வெரி 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 டென்சிட்டி புக் அது. அந்த விஷயத்தை வந்து எப்படி ஒரு ஆக்ஷன் இருக்கணும், யாரால ஆக்ஷன் பண்ண முடியும், யாரால ரியாக்ஷன் பண்ண முடியும், ஆக்ஷன்னா என்ன, ரியாக்ஷன்னா என்ன, ஆக்ஷனும் இல்லை ரியாக்ஷனும் இல்லை, இருக்கிறது ஒரு வஸ்து தான் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி அதோடைய கன்க்ளூஷன் அழகா அமையிறது. தேர்ஃபோர் கர்மண்ய அகர்ம எஃப் பஷ்யத்தை எப்படி பகவத்கீதால சொல்லித்தோ அதே மாதிரி அந்த தாத்பரியத்தை ரிலேட்டடா அந்த புஸ்தகத்தை தமிழ்ல வந்து பண்றது வந்து நிஜமாவே சீன் ஹர் ஸ்ட்ரகிளிங் ஃபார் ஸ்ட்ரகிளிங்கா என்ன அர்த்தம், அந்த தாத்பரியத்தை தமிழ்ல கொண்டு வரது வந்து எவ்வளோ டிஃபிகல்ட் விஷயம் அப்படிங்கிறது என்னால் ரொம்ப கண்ணால் பார்க்க முடிஞ்சது. பட் ஆல் த நைட் அண்ட் பகலமா உட்காந்து நான் அந்த விஷயத்தை வந்து இந்த பரம்பராக்கு எல்லா ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸுக்கும் கான்ட்ரிபியூட் பண்ற மாதிரி செயல் எதிர்ச்செயல், செயலும் அதுக்கான எதிர்ச்செயலும் அப்படிங்கிற தலைப்புல அந்த புஸ்தகமானது நம்ம இன்னைக்கு சுவாமிஜி கையால அம்மாஜி கையால நம்ம அதை வெளியிட்டு அவ கையாலேயே நம்ம அதை பிரசாதமா வாங்கிக்கலாம். ஜெய் போல் சத்குருநாத் மகாராஜ் கி.